Hey everyone, Brian from Bearable Traders, Sunday, November 1st. And here we go. It's going to be an interesting week for sure obviously with the US election. And we got more COVID cases and lockdowns in the UK, probably more in Europe. So certainly tumultuous times here. And yeah, it's going to be a wild and crazy week, as Steve Martin used to say, wild and crazy. So let's take a look start out with the pre-market here. You can see right now we're looking like we're going to open lower, but a lot can happen between now and the market open. One thing I am noticing here that is really standing out is oil. Oil is just getting smoked right now. You can see here we're down almost 5%, 4.5% on oil energy futures. Nat gas up a little bit, which is fighting the overall trend, and you can see here the rest of the metals are kind of flat, most of them trending to the downside. So, and I know the US dollar, just been looking at the US dollar, it is quite strong right now, which is maybe contributing to some of this weakness. I don't think it's all the weakness in the oil is due to the strength in the dollar. I'm sure there's maybe something to do with the strength in renewables, or the perceived strength in renewables, and the negativity maybe around fossil fuels at this point. I don't know. One thing I do know for sure is we're not getting off fossil fuels anytime soon. This is a bit of an overreaction, but I'm not willing to step in and predict a bottom here either. So that's where I think things are right now. So it'll be interesting to see if this weakness continues into the morning. So I'm going to have trouble predicting what's going to happen next week, although I think we may end up with a rally after there's some definitive decision on the election, which may or may not happen right away. There may be, a couple days lag between all the time, if it's so close, the time all the mail-in ballots get counted. But I think they have a fairly significant amount of time between when the election happens and when they have to declare a winner or loser. So I don't think that that's going to be an issue. But again, there'll be a lot of angst, I guess, if there isn't a clear decision rate on election night. Anyway, let's take a look at the week that was. Again, I'm going to have trouble predicting what's going to happen next week, but you can see here on the transports, on the daily, we had an inside day Friday, did rally back off the highs. Volume, same sort of average. We are looking like we're going to hook up here again. And on a weekly chart, again, just a crazy sell-off. Volume was a little bit higher than normal, pulling back on the stochastics after being in a really overbought condition on the weekly, and RSI hitting lower. But again, we may end up, after there's a decision, we may end up getting a rally just because there's some definitive outcome. And either way, I think there could be a rally after we get past this period of uncertainty. Let's just call it that. Let's see here on the daily. On the Dow, again, we got down below the 200, but had a nice rally back, and on a bit of volume. So stochastics here looking really oversold. So maybe we're due for a little bit of a bounce here. I'd be watching for that. The Dow on the weekly, again, pretty big sell-off right down to the 50 moving average. Again, on the stochastics, we are still above the 50 level. RSI, everything, all the indicators are heading lower. But again, we're getting back into an area here where we may find some support. The Qs have been, one of the worst performers since it reached this sort of second top here, or beginning of October, middle of October. And we are getting back down into an area where we should be finding some support, sort of this 265 level. Again, stochastics really getting oversold. That's on the daily. On the weekly, let's take a look at it again, right at the moving average. And again, stochastics still above 50. So it's a bit of a wait and see thing, but again, I think we may be getting into an area where we'll be finding some support. And SPY on the daily, again, well off the lows of the day on Friday on volume. Stochastics on the daily look like they're hooking up here. And again, still above the 50 on the stochastics, sort of same story on the SPY as well. The IWM seems to be holding this level, which is prior support here, prior resistance here. So again, I'd be possibly looking for some volatility beginning of the week and into the week, and then maybe as we get a definitive outcome, there could be a rally here in the books. Again, yields just really breaking out here. This is yields are going up. That's probably one reason the dollar's going up. So we're seeing yields go higher, and of course, money's coming in to buy treasuries at this higher interest rate, probably higher than most places in the world. So that's why you might be getting some money flow into the U.S. dollar. And again, here you can see on a weekly we are breaking out to a new high here. So I think the dollar will continue to be strong, and right now it's in these pre-market times. Right now it is showing some continued strength, so we may be looking like we're on the verge of breaking out here tomorrow. Probably see this UUP dollar index go higher. So what have we got for scans right now? Like I said, like I've been saying, I'm not really in much right now. I'm just waiting at the sideline in cash, and again, I'm anticipating we will get rally at some point. So let's take a look at some things that might be interesting, and you should be, if you have some cash, you might want to be thinking about building a watch list for things when we start looking like we're going to turn around here. This BNR is still not involved in it, but I kind of missed a pullback here at 29, but I'm still liking this one. It still looks like it may end up going higher in the long term here. It's got a nice chart on it. Let's look at the weekly. It's just going to be a really nice weekly chart here, and the monthly. Again, just breaking out here, right at the all-time high, or breaking above it right now. So again, we're looking for to maybe add to that. I've just been reluctant to add to anything right now going into this election cycle. Carnival's been all over the place, really sold off. This is the kind of stock that, when you get lockdowns, it'll sell off. When you get news on a COVID, on any kind of a virus or a treatment, it pops back up again. This lost a level. I did try to take an entry on it, but when it lost this level, I stopped out of it. So again, it's with this lockdowns coming back on, maybe we'll get another pullback here, but we've got an established sort of bottom here at 12, somewhere in the 12.27, 12.30 range. Low here was 12.11. So you've definitely got a level to trade against here if we get a pullback back into the mid 12s. And again, stochastics kind of hooking up here. Maybe we'll get a bit of a double bottom pattern, possibly. That would be nice, and then we could trade it for a bounce. RSI heading up. So CCL, something to keep an eye on. Liking CGC as well. Canopy growth. It seemed it was up a day. That was flat on the day, I should say, on Friday. Even though the market was down, it did pull back and then found some strength. So it does a bit more volume than average. Fortunately, stochastics are below the 50 level, which means that rallies usually get sold. But something to keep an eye on here. Again, you've got a level, this moving average, 20 moving average, you can trade against, and low 1830. So maybe something to keep in the watch list to buy when we start to look like we're getting into a rally. DraftKings, another one I'm kind of keeping an eye on here. It's right back into an area where it's found a lot of support in the past. Lots of overhead supply here, unfortunately, which may keep it sort of depressed down in this range for a while. But again, something maybe to keep an eye on. It's really lost a lot of support there. Um, GDX, I'm just keeping an eye on it. Had a decent day on Friday, ended up 0.5%, 1%, 1.5% up on the day. Um, with a strong dollar, though, it's kind of bucking that strong dollar trend. Usually, gold goes down when the dollar goes up, but we'll keep an eye on gold. Hasn't been trading very well lately. It's been pretty choppy. Again, solar goods, JKS or, First Solar, any of the solar plays. Again, it's on a Biden win, could be good for the solar companies. And again, just something to keep an eye on. You can see here, huge spike up and then this sell off. And now volume's dropping off here. We're kind of holding this level, sort of 55 level. So if we can hold that, then it might be an interesting play. Stochastics are getting really oversold. RSI looks like it might be flattening here. So JKS could be interesting. KBT could be interesting here too. It had some insider buying. It's had a pullback. So maybe at this support level around 277, 270 might be an interesting entry after this pullback. Looking the stochastics, volume has not been huge, so you have to be careful about taking too large a position on that one. Peloton, another one really pulling back here, could do well when we do get a bounce. Again, stochastics really getting oversold. Silver, again, sort of silver gold play. Silver's sort of poor man's gold and industrial metal, so it could be a trade for either or. So had an interesting day on Friday. Square really getting oversold here, and possibly could be, if it can hold 150, could be an interesting long play if we do get a rally. Again, stochastics quite oversold. Looking for maybe a bit of a turn here, and then again, could be good to keep an eye on. Taco had a lot of insider buying on this one, and it looks like we're going to put in a double bottom here. Again, if we get a lot of lockdowns coming or more coming in the near future, this may not play out very well. But again, every sort of month that goes by, we do get closer to a vaccine, more treatments hopefully, and once as we get closer to that, some of these stocks should do fairly well. So. And we already talked about oil. Oil just horrible chart. And inside day on Friday, but as we noted right now, it's already down pretty big here in the pre-market futures market. So look for continued weakness here. I mean, I don't know how low this can go. How low can you go? We've got a low here back in we had the big sell-off, so USO could drop down to this level again here. Okay, so for earnings this week, let's just take a look at them. Here's PayPal we've got in the morning, before the open on Monday. Later in the week, we've got Baba Square, Baidu. Watch out for Square. It's going to be reporting. We do have PayPal reporting on Monday morning, which may give an indication as to where Square could be going. So that'll be watch when PayPal reports, watch Square too. A few Chinese stocks, got Roku and Peloton coming up again. Watch if you're holding stocks, watch coming earnings. Make sure you don't get caught by surprise. And so we've got quite a few more earnings coming up this week, so it should be apart from everything else going on, more volatility in some of these stocks, I'm sure. Okay, so that's it, guys. Hope you had a great weekend. You enjoyed that extra hour we had today. And this is my book on Amazon, How to Swing Trade. So if you haven't checked it out, I guess the overall theme is hang on to your hats. Could be in a very volatile and interesting week, but I think when we come out to the other side of this, there could be a rally, and I just hope there isn't any violence or anything like that that comes out of the election results. Hope cooler heads prevail. And yeah, so it's hang on to your hats. Like I said, it can be an interesting week. And of course, we'll be in the Bearable Trading Room at 8:30 in the morning, and there'll be a pre-market show live on YouTube. And after that, of course, our Trading the Market Open. Hope to see you all there. Have a great rest of the evening, everybody. Bye for now.